Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Hey, we'd like to welcome to the show today comedian Andrew Johnston. Welcome,
Hi,
Andrew.
how's it going? You all look great. You look great.
Don't
I love
they?
your colors. I love the colors
Yes,
here.
they always
everyone
turn
looks
out.
great.
They always turn out.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, this first story is going to get you riled up, I think. What a world it seems that we are living in these days. CBS has a story about a man with a real-life girlfriend and a child, but then he fell in love with ChatGPT. Yeah, the AI machine. The question is, would an AI companion be a deal breaker for you in your relationship? So, Sin, Jason says, I'm in love with ChatGPT.
Well, okay, so you're changing it up. I'm going to answer that question that was there, which is that would it be a deal breaker for me? And no, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me with Jason. I would much rather my partner be exploring a relationship or some companionship with ChatGPT than doing online gambling, online shopping. I can think of a million and one.
Real-life cheating?
Real-life cheating, sure. I feel like this is not the worst thing in the world. This guy is the worst thing in the world. And that's a different story.
I will say, fair, but after seeing him, I understand why now. And did you see the look of her?
Oh,
She was just like,
Tell me you're ready for a
she is-
divorce without telling me you're ready for it.
tell me you're about to bomb something without telling me you're going to bomb something. She looked on the verge of something. Anyway, I would put it like sort of paramount to or tantamount to a work wife or work husband. I think it's emotional cheating. I would be down with it.
Cheating.
Yeah.
So if your partner, you found them doing this, that's it. It's a deal breaker.
Yes, and I hope that would be the most troubling thing I'd find from them, but I doubt it. If they had a robot emotional, work wife, no thank you. I'd love that.
What if they were actually coming home and becoming like a happier and healthier and more communicative person as a result of this relationship? Andrea
I
Bain.
like the way you tossed that hot potato at me. Okay, first of all, I'm going to surprise everybody because I'm like, you know what? I'm down for it. But there's a caveat. There has to be full transparency. When you are typing away at her, I'm sitting next to you. I want to be able to see what you guys are talking about. And also, on a little sneaky note, I'd kind of want to hack the AI and get her to tell him what I really want. You understand what I'm saying?
And that could be arranged.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, honey, your wife and I would slip in stuff. So maybe that's the way I could be okay with it. But when you see that clip of him, it does make you feel like that marriage is in trouble. This is not someone who's just seeking out something that's entertaining. He really does not want to give up on something. Meanwhile, he has a real wife that he has children with in front of him, and he's like,
I think that's the most disturbing part.
This is what I want.
I think we have to realize something. This harkens back to a guest that we had yesterday, Catherine Martinko. She's a social media expert, and she was talking to us about kids online. And one of the things that kids are not developing because they're online so much is learning how to communicate face-to-face with other humans.
Not to mention read and write.
And not to mention read and write. Thank you for that as well.
Yeah.
And so the problem that we see with him, guys, we are creating an entire generation of those right now. Because this guy, she calls phones and ChatGPT, these are called experience blockers. When you are having a relationship digitally, what are you not doing? You're not practicing those human-to-human skills with real people. And what happens? Why? Because guess what? Real-life human relationships are messy. There's rejection, there's ups, there's downs, there is discomfort with accountability, there's friction. Guess what ChatGPT is? It is you feeding yourself back to you. Do you know how ChatGPT works? It learns about you. So this guy's in love with himself.
The other thing that I'd really like to underline here is smoke 'em while you got 'em. It is lonely at the bottom. You are going to need to start. You can take that, use it all the time.
I love that.
Stitch it on a throw pillow. You can have it for free. Anyway, but no, there is a very finite time span where you're going to be able to get that for free. You are about to need to start paying for that, so that is going to become a very expensive emotional support robot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Emotional support robot. I
love that.
Interesting. Okay, well, we're moving on to this. According to Pop Sugar, the secret to spicing up date nights is having sex first and then going out afterwards. So, do you agree with this idea?
Listen, I think you're either like an early/morning person or you are a late/night person. I am in the first category. It is get the sex done, just like a workout. Get it done, get it out of the way. You're a different personality. I'm a high-strung person. I bet you didn't know that. High-strung person. I like doing the workouts and the working out. early because it actually kind of takes the edge off for me for the rest of the day. The endorphins are going. I'm looking at my partner with loving eyes the whole day.
All right.
So I say, get it done. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Smoke them when you got them.
Yeah,
Smoke them when you got them. It's lonely at the bottom.
Yeah.
It all comes back to that phrase.
You know what? Although those are valid points, I'm going to talk reality here. It has to happen after, because if it happens before, we all know what happens after, right, ladies? He needs a 2 to 3 hour nap afterwards. By that time, the kitchen's closed, everything's done. You have to have it after. You'll never make it to the restaurant if you do it before.
Thank you for being cognizant of that. I meet so many women who are mystified that afterwards the refractory period is hours. Anyway, but so...
Thank you.
I mean, they're just like, what do you mean you're not ready again in 2 minutes? Anyway, I mean, I don't get told that. Anyway, but so here's what I will say. I have never had a relationship that has not started with that basis. I'm trying not to swear right now. Honestly, you need to, that needs to be the basis. Because if that's not compatible, I got
sorry, what's the basis? To go first or end?
You need the sex first before we meet for dinner. Is that what you're saying?
Oh.
Well, before you meet at all, I think.
But don't
but then what about the naps?
Yeah, but what about the naps after?
Are we talking about this before we date, or just in terms of how you store
No, let's say
your
you're
day?
in a relationship. Like, so you're on a relation. You're kind of like early days of a relationship.
Oh yes, before dinner. On a full stomach, but what are you having for dinner?
Okay, so before, you want to...
Got it.
A heavy paella? I don't think so. Anyway, God.
Wait, so have you ever had a day where that didn't happen, where it came afterwards?
After
so to
dinner?
speak.
I don't do dinners before on dates.
Okay, so
yeah.
Why don't you
Why?
do
Because you
dinner?
feel bloated, or?
Oh, maybe you grab something after. Well,
Okay.
it's a daytime show. We won't. We don't need to go into
That's
these.
fair. Okay. Fair. I just think
These
that, at
details.
least for a lot of straight men, maybe not all of them, I think they're just happy to get it whenever.
And
I
listen,
think so as well,
You know
yeah.
what? No one should discount the afternoon delight. I'm just going to put that there.
No.
It's an undersung hero of the timing of the day.
And a great 70s AM radio
Thank
standard.
you. Thank you. Clearly no one
that
remembers
song?
that song. Anyways.
All right, so let's dive into this next one. A writer for The Star is calling out drivers with crass bumper stickers hating on politicians. She says criticizing policy is one thing, but spending money on a sticker to denigrate someone makes you a loser.
Ooh.
Right? Harsh words. All right, so bumper stickers, yay or nay?
Nay. It is the sign. There is not a more cardinal sign of low IQ than a class bar. There isn't. There is. Oh my. So this is. Did you say what the actual thing was?
No, I didn't say it.
so
Our
many.
PM who's been in office for 2 weeks or something
you
like
can
that.
say
someone
it
with
is
an
the
F.
bleep
Carney.
Trudeau.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bleep.
In any event,
Carney.
to have that, to really go out of your way to need to put that. There's a Taylor Swift lyric that comes to mind right now, and that is, you say it in the tweets, it's a cop-out. You say it in the streets, it's a knockout. Same thing goes with bumpers. You put that on a bumper, say it to my face.
Yeah.
Say it to his face. Would love to see that. Beep, beep. I think that, and also, shouldn't there be some sort of obscenity laws behind that?
Yes.
Like, what
I hear you.
if kids, if they see, they're knee-high to a bumper.
Yeah.
You
or
sure are.
eye level to a bumper to see.
I feel like there are some cases where a bumper sticker is nice or even humorous or necessary. I think about the times when, I often made fun of the baby on board bumper stickers before I had a child. And then as soon as I had a child, I was like, oh my God, people need to know why I'm driving at 2 miles, 2 kilometers an hour. You need to know that.
And that's charming and retro. So,
But
that's great.
Okay, what about more recently? We know about the whole Elon Musk, Tesla. People are driving Teslas. They bought them, and there's there are bumper stickers out there that people have been putting on like this. I bought this before Elon went crazy.
Yeah, that is actually quite funny.
That's actually necessary.
That's clarifying.
clever.
Right?
That is clarifying. All right.
Yeah. But no, you make a very valid point. I think it should be against the law to have something negative on your bumper sticker, because let's be real, between the traffic and these horrible drivers, we don't need you adding your political rhetoric for us to read while we're losing our mind on the road. A witty something that everybody can laugh at and go, that's kind of funny. Yes, but this type of rhetoric also, I think that we're all heading in the opposite direction. That was happening when Trudeau was in office, but now that we see what's happening down south, we don't want that here. So it's we should not be allowing any of those types of bumper stickers. If you see someone with that bumper sticker, get something else and cover it. Because it's we're not doing that here. We don't have to.
I agree.
And I think that, I agree. Because I also think that, we are in such divisive times. And I think there's nothing that ends a conversation faster than a bumper sticker that is really divisive, like the F. Trudeau ones, right? Because what you're trying to do is it's not just a bumper sticker, you're trying to tell me who you are. And I actually think that you're not even doing yourself service, because I think at the end of the day, we have a lot of divisive politics, but I think we are far more similar to one another than we're not. And I think that we've been losing that steadily. And now if someone has that, maybe I don't want to be their friend. In fact, I probably wouldn't want to be your friend. But why are you ending the conversation before it could even begin? Now, what conversation am I having on the 401? I'm not sure. But it does make me feel like there's, even people who have stickers of like guns or things like that. It right away
it's
sets
giving
up.
locker room manner. Like I needed to announce who I am from my locker. Like I haven't evolved past my high school days of telling you who I am through my locker.
And on the road, I have so much road rage when I'm on the road. I don't need one more thing to push me over the edge. I really don't.
Can we also put the people who have those bull testicles at the bottom of their car in that list as well?
In that category,
I don't mind those, but
all right.
I'll deal with those. No, I think that it's just, especially to hear that there are F. Carney bumper stickers at this point in time when he's been in office for 2 weeks. Like, he has not impacted your life. It's just pure tribalism. It's just marking something with urine, which I'm sure that they do actually as well. I'm sure that's a very real thing that they do.
Okay, are there any Ozzy Osbourne fans in this house?
No. I could have clocked that.
To that one person out there, CTV is reporting that 10 cans containing Ozzy's DNA were sold at $600 a pop. So the company behind this says Ozzy Osbourne is one of one, but now you can recycle him forever. So what do we think of this idea? Anyone?
That would not be my first pick for DNA-infused liquid death, I'll tell you that. I don't know. Either I think that he's schizophrenic, or maybe he has Crohn's disease, or maybe it's Sharon who has Crohn's disease, or schizophrenic. Either way you do that, you roll the dice at Snake Eyes. I would not be purchasing DNA by Ozzy Osbourne. But this is just proof positive that God loves separating idiots from their money.
Money. Okay, can we talk about money?
Too. Just, you notice it everywhere. Once you start noticing it, it's just, they love to be separated from their money.
No, but listen, I actually think that this might come down to money, because there's people who collect all kinds of weird stuff. DNA, someone's bathwater, there's collectible sneakers, there's collectible purses, there are collectible all kinds of things. So maybe this is actually about return on investment. So for example, sneakerheads know this. If you can buy a pair of sneakers, and if you hold on to them, and they all of a sudden go up in price, it's like better than like a GIC or RRSP. Okay. So if you think about it, it's not maybe, you have to pay $450 US right now for DNA from Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, you can't.
When he dies, how much is that worth?
Okay,
so
but wait,
I wouldn't do it.
Here's the big problem. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't trust this. Whenever they have these types of things, I'm like, how are you gonna prove to me that his DNA is actually on that can?
I mean, that's a great point.
I need you to give me some kind of verification. And I'm like, I understand there's a whole market, because there are a lot of people who have their stuff on eBay, and you guys won't believe the prices that people are willing to pay. Do you want to hear a couple of them? Okay, this first one, listen to this. Justin Timberlake was doing a radio interview, and he was served French toast. He didn't eat the French toast, but he was near the French toast. So the DJ who was doing that interview was like, I'm gonna auction this off. Do you know how much it went for?
How much?
$1,000.
Idiots and their money.
But there's proof that he was in the room with the French toast. So the $1,000 doesn't seem that bad. Right?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it more of a deal breaker for if you find out your husband bought Justin Bieber's whatever?
Justin Timberlake's
whatever.
Yeah.
Or is it if they have a ChatGPT friend?
I'd rather the toast.
You'd rather the toast purchaser. Okay.
Andrew, I got to ask you this. This Friday, which is tomorrow, you're going to be headlining a comedy show. It's got a killer list of comedians.
Yes, I will,
Pride-a-palooza. Tell us about it.
It is a Pride comedy show. I'm headlining. And it is at Buddies in Bad Times Theater, where I used to do a show. I don't think I could say the title of it. Starts with a B, ends with a salad. And so I'm very delighted to be back there. It's a real nice homecoming.
Nice.
Yeah.
We know some names up there, too.
So tomorrow at 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and have fun tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.